Hey everybody, it's your girl Jasmine, aka Jasmine Louisa from Mama's Cocktail Hour. And I'm super excited because this is my very first episode of what I learned during Sunday worship. So basically, what this video is, or where I came up with the idea from, was my faith is super important to me. And I believe as a Christian, it's important that we use as many opportunities as we can to spread the word, the good word, the word of Jesus Christ. And I thought, why not come on every Sunday or every other Sunday and just share with you guys what I learned during the sermon during Sunday worship. I go to an amazing church. I have an amazing pastor who really has a gift when it comes to really being able to give these type of sermons where they're very powerful and impactful, but not complicated in the sense that he just says it how it is. So you can really stay engaged and really understand what message he's trying to convey over. And it's really helped me in really staying locked in when the sermons are happening, because I know sometimes it's hard. We all go through it, as devoted as we may be. We get squirrel moments, and it's easy for us to kind of listen but start checking off things that we need to do. But like I said, for the most part, I'm blessed to be part of a congregation who has a pastor that really knows how to speak the powerful word in very simple yet profound ways. So with that, today was a very good sermon. It was basically speaking about loving God's creation, how it's important that we love all of God's creations, whether it be our planet, one another, the animals that he has put upon this earth, because those are blessings that he has provided to us. Those are things that he has gifted us. And one of the most important things that we also need to take into consideration is that to love God creation is to love not only one another, but to also love ourselves, because God made us in his image, and he loved us so much that he gave up his only son so that we can be spared eternal damnation and given the gift and the promise of eternal life, right? So with that said, the way that I interpret it was, it's very important that we do what we need to do and we do the work to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves and one another, that we are valuing ourselves and one another, that we allow ourselves to be compassionate to others and to also extend that compassion to ourselves, because we are all God's creations. And it is our responsibility to make sure that we take care of that creation, that we celebrate that creation. And sometimes it's hard to really look at ourselves in that way, because we're filled with so much shame. Like how can I be, this thing, this wonderful thing that, he made, if I, I've done all these horrible things, or I've made all these mistakes and I'm damaged. But at the end of the day, he made us intentionally imperfect. We were made imperfect on purpose. He knows that we are broken. And what we need to remember is that all the answers are with him. All the answers and the help that we desire is with him. In his word, in his promise. We are never really alone because he's always there. And no matter how we think that we are just too damaged and too broken and too hurt to be loved and protected by him, at the end of the day, that's really a us issue, because he will never turn his back on us. He knows our flaws. He knows the good and the bad that we're capable of doing, and yet he still loves us unconditionally anyway. And I think that's something that we need to remember when we are so hard and down on ourselves, that it is okay. We are still worthy of love. We are still worthy of grace. We are still worthy of compassion. Not only ourselves, but others. Maybe you're not the one in your life or in your surroundings that is the one that feels broken and hurt. Maybe there's a family member, a friend, coworker who's really had a hard life and is really struggling with the consequences of some decisions that they made in the past. Loving God's creation also means that you don't stick your nose up and judge the other person, but instead be compassionate, extend your hand. Be there for that person if it's possible. Love them through it if you can. Because again, we all are flawed. We are all imperfect. We are all incapable of bad, of doing things that are shameful. And so we should never sit in judgment, because we as regular people, as humans, will never be unflawed. There will never be anyone who could ever have the right to look down upon anybody else. We were all made in his image. So that's really what I took from it today, that it's important for us to take care of ourselves and one another. And if we feel lost, if we feel confused, if we feel angry, if we feel sadness or just shame, that we are not alone. That just because we feel those things does not make us unworthy of his love, his grace, his compassion. He knows that we are damaged, and yet he still loves us anyway. And he will never turn away from us. We may turn away from him, but he will never turn away from us. And so when we do turn to him, he will be there to provide us the answers. He will cover us with his love and his grace. He is love. And that's something really that resonated with me. That's my interpretation of it. And I really hope I made myself clear. This is the first time that I've actually, spoken like this on a video in regards to something I learned or felt that, I resonated with me during service. And so I really look forward to being able to come on here every Sunday and just really let you know what I got from it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you next week. Make sure again that you guys remember to take care of yourselves, love yourselves, but also love those closest to you, and love those even who you don't know, because love is important and God is love.